Good morning. Happy Tuesday, boys. I hope everybody's off to a great start this week. Hope everybody had a good Monday. I heard from a couple of you guys yesterday. I hope you're still enjoying our book and have a great session with Miss Shaner today. And here we go with Chapter 5. More trouble in our hot air balloon book here. So we'll see what happened. We had the runaway balloon that the guy who owned the balloon wasn't sure what happened. So we'll see. Here we go with Chapter 5, More Trouble. An older man approached. His glasses were perched on top of his head. Under his arm was a large brown envelope. Is he a reporter? Jessie asked. That's Hollis McKnight, Sky answered. He's the owner and editor of the Landing Times, the local newspaper. She started toward him. Oh, Mr. McKnight, I have money for the ad, she told him. Mr. McKnight said, I'll get the money later. Right now I have to speak with Mary. He took Mary England's arm and led her away. Did you tell McKnight what's been going on around here? Don Pfister said. Matt ignored him. Sky touched Matt's arm. Come on, Matt, she said. Don will cool off. In the meantime, let's show the Aldens what this balloon business is all about. She started toward a small shed at one corner of the field. The Aldens followed. One of these days, we're going to enlarge this storage shed, Sky told them. We're going to make it into a lounge, Matt added, with tables and chairs and a big window so people can see the balloons ascend, Sky said. Will there be anything to eat, Benny asked. A well-equipped snack bar, Matt answered. Benny was glad to hear that. At the shed, Sky said, tomorrow you'll be part of our chase crew, and you'll help with the launch, Matt added. Wait here, Sky instructed. We want to show you some of our equipment. She and Matt unlocked the shed and went inside. Not far away, Hollis McKnight and Mary England were in a heated conversation. What do you suppose that's all about? Henry wondered aloud. Why is Mary's hair all messed up? Benny asked. She looks like she'd always be combed, not like me. Probably the wind, Violet suggested. Sue Lee looked around. She studied a nearby tree. Not a single leaf was moving. There's no wind, she said. She probably had her car windows open, Jessie decided. What's Mr. McKnight doing? Henry said. The man pulled a stack of something, letters, from a brown envelope. He waved them in Mary's face. She turned away. Mr. McKnight kept talking. Suddenly, Mary turned around to face him. She said something and dug in her purse. Whatever she pulled out flashed in the sunlight. It's a mirror, Henry said, and a comb, Violet added, as Mary began smoothing her hair. Sky came out of the shed. Matt followed, carrying a metal box. This is the instrument package, Sky told the Aldens. They crowded around as Matt lifted the flight instruments out of the box. Sky pointed to a round dial. This is a barometer, she said. It tells us our vertical speed. Matt pointed to another gauge. Altimeter, he identified. It tells us our altitude, how high up in the sky we are. And that last dial measures the temperature inside the balloon. Why do you have to know the temperature inside the balloon? Sue Lee asked. The air in the balloon has to be kept at just the right temperature or the balloon will not do what the pilot wants it to, Matt answered. A little picture of them checking out all the gauges. Looks like Sky, Violet, and Jessie. How do you heat the air? Violet asked. Propane gas, Sky answered. You'll see the tanks later. Benny studied the instruments. Even Grandfather's station wagon had more dials. Are these all the instruments you need? A compass helps, Sky said, and a map, Matt added. I'm good at reading maps, Benny said. Proudly, I even made a map of our neighborhood. Sky smiled. Good. Tomorrow, when you're part of the chase crew, those skills will come in handy. Hollis McKnight joined the group. I'll take that money now, Ms. Blair, he said. Sky dug her wallet from her back pocket. I've made a couple of changes in the ad copy, she said. She handed Mr. McKnight a check and a folded piece of paper. Do you want to go over them? Mr. McKnight shook his head. I'm sure I'll be able to figure out the changes. Then he walked away. Don Pfister ran up beside him. Mr. McKnight, he said, let me tell you what's been going on here. McKnight waved him away, saying, not now, not now. What kind of newspaper editor are you? Don Pfister shouted after him. Then he stomped off. Matt shook his head. That Don is nothing but trouble, he said. Skye didn't respond. Instead, she went on talking about ballooning. Teamwork is the most important aspect of ballooning, she said. Everyone has a job, and they must do it well. The Aldens became so interested in their ballooning lesson, they didn't hear Pete Moran pull in. Lunch, Pete announced as he opened the back of the station wagon. Benny heard that. So did everyone else. Balloonists quickly gathered near the station wagon. Using the back of the station wagon as a table, Pete spread out an assortment of cold salads and breads. Henry stepped forward. Do you need help? He asked Pete. Pete nodded. You could hand out the plates. Henry took the paper plates and stood beside the station wagon. Jesse took the plastic utensils. A line formed. The first person was about to eat when Brad Golder shouted at Pete, You're the one who launched my balloon. Dun dun dun. That's the end of our chapter. Oh man. Chapter 6 is called A Suspect. So I don't know, we've only seen Pete as a nice guy who offered for the Aldens to stay at his inn and stuff, so we don't really have him as a suspect yet or have any clues based on our story, but clearly this Brad character thinks Pete's up to no good, so he shouted at him. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday, guys. I'm really proud of how hard you're working. Have a great talk with Miss Shaner today, and I will see you guys soon. Behave for mom and dad. Do your best on your schoolwork. Do great things. I know you guys can. I'm so proud of you. Just a little farther to go. You guys got this. Alright, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.